Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to part 4 of my Planet of the Apes RPG review. Man, every time I see that, ooh, love it. Not just the bookmarks, but that emerald green glow of the metallic gilt. So today, let me get to my bookmarks, because that's what they're for, right? We're still in the character making process. Who do you want to be? You choose your template. We went over those last week, actually. You choose your template, read through the 8 mutant and human character, and pick one of those. Then we will... I'm going by the checklist here, in case you couldn't tell. Better leave that there. Next, you will determine your character persona, pick a quirk, remarkable ability, and motive on pages 107 through 112. Then select your skills, allocate 7 dice to your skills, maximum 2 die to a single skill, and then calculate your SRP defenses. We'll get into that. Decide your personal characteristics, choose your character's name, personality, and appearance, and then establish your connections. Also, you will go over your starting equipment, and if you are an ape, you may have some savings tucked away somewhere. Cool, but I think running an ape character would only come into play after you've kind of established, kind of the world that you're going through. If you're going to go by the book's recommendation and start everybody out as ape characters, then cool, but I'm not feeling it. I just watched Battle for the Planet of the Apes, and I'd like to do a review on all 5 movies later on, but I'm hoping to get the boy to watch them again with me, because I could watch them again, no problem. There is a little player comfort first kind of an X card little 1.5 paragraph thing that I'm not going to go into. We're all adults here. We don't need any safety tools. All PCs start with 6 hero points to encourage heroic, risky actions. A character creation, put a 6 in that spot, and you can actually save those up to go up, kind of like levels, or you can just use them for free re-rolls and things like that. But let's go into the quirks. You can roll a D66, which is percentile, which is 2 6s, in case you're not familiar with that. And you have things like impulsive, restless, sticky fingers, cruel, wallflower, absent-minded, paranoid, aren't we all? And sheltered, firebug, reckless, tinkerer, nosy, suspicious, greedy, judgmental, aggressive, adventurous, etc. You get the idea. And they have no actual mechanical effects, but then we go into remarkable abilities, which do, and you get one of these as well. You get one of these, and there is no rolling, because there's not quite that many of them. Able inventor, 2 die bonus on all engineer skill rolls. Brutal, +1 damage bonus to all armed melee attacks. Tinkerer, +2 die bonus to all repair, disable rolls. Born brawler, +2 dice to all strength brawl skill rolls. Eye for detail, +2 bonus on all personality I'm not sure what that abbreviation is for, actually. Evaluate, investigate skill rolls. Crack shot, 2 die bonus on all marksman skill rolls. Fists of Fury, ready for action, quick fix, sneaky, studious, etc. And they all have a 1 or 2 die bonus on your something. They can really be used to really fine-tune your character. I actually recommend picking those after you've picked everything else, because that way you can, really fine-tune your skills and abilities. Then your motives, from acceptance to achievement, law, loneliness, love, martyrdom, obsession, poverty, power. Again, no mechanical bonuses, but just things to drive your character in the role-playing aspect. Then you have 7 dice to allocate to your skills. You can't add any more than 2 dice to one skill. It's really not a lot, but the way the system works, it will make a big difference, because you add that to your stat bonus that the skill is tied to. So you could have, a starting right off, I believe, up to 5 dice to try and make at the most a 30 difficulty roll. Then you have your, you spend your money. There's a bunch of things you can purchase depending on, what you, excuse me, get the hiccups all of a sudden. Obviously, astronauts really don't get that, but the apes do. The tribal humanoids have, they trade leaves and furs and berries, I guess. I don't know. Then you calculate your SRP, which is surprise, readied, and psyche defenses. Surprised, guessing that determines, whether or not you are surprised or readied. If you're prepared, you take your dex attribute die code value and multiply it by 3. Then your psyche defense against any sort of, mutant attack. Your surprise defense is personality, or whatever PER is, times 3. Dex times 3 for ready, and psyche is willpower times 3. Spend your money. Decide your personal characteristics. You can roll to see whether you're, between slight and lean to burly and bulky. Then we get to part 6, which is establishing your connections. These are the people you know and how they influenced your upbringing, your growing up. What do you want to be when you grow up, kind of thing. You can play characters. There's a thing here where you can play characters the age of 12 or under. I don't recommend that. It really doesn't make any sense unless you're maybe obviously not an astronaut, unless you're doing the Lost in Space thing, which would be kind of cool. Maybe if you got an actual ship that's still working and you have the opportunity to maybe not leave the planet but go to other locations, that'd be kind of cool. In which case maybe you're playing little Bobby so and so. And if you're playing characters that are of advanced age, you get a -1 die penalty attribute and skill rolls for dex and strength, not including rolls to resist damage. Excuse me. And a +1 die bonus to all knowledge and mechanic and will attribute and skill-based rolls. There's an example of character creation next, which we kind of just did. Then improving your characters by spending experience points. You can up your dice on a 1-to-1. Well, not quite 1-to-1. 1 point will give you +1, not 1 die, but +1 point on your dice, on your die rolls. Then it costs, I think, 2 for the second one and 3 for the third one, but that makes it a full die, which is nice that they went, the midpoint. They didn't go to 4 or 5 or 6 to get the full dice. And I wish they would have had a section right here on how much XP things are worth if you do this or that, how many XP you get. And then improving your actual attributes, like your strength and your dex, can only be done by using hero points, and you can only raise them 1 die, but it's the same with the skills. It's 1 point, then 2 point, then another die, but it would cost up to 18 hero points to get a full die, and you can only ever max add 1 more die to your characteristics or your attributes, which makes sense for this situation. But however, having played the Star Wars game, I could see where there really should be no limit. Then the last thing I'm going to leave you with is improving speech. If you are running one of the tribal humans, you start out with not even being able to make a sound. I guess you can't even whistle or hum or squeaks, which is, it costs you 10 XP to get to the babble level, which is the ability to grunt, hum, squeak, and produce sound but not words. Then 15 points to develop sound mimicry, basically to parrot words that they've heard before, though not string together sentences with meaning, which means that Nova got to like 13 or 14 points dropped into that ability and was not quite able to fully say Taylor's name. And then for 20 XP, and I'm guessing it's 10, 15, and then 20 XP, making it a total of 20, 30, 45 points to get to full speech, or maybe it's 10, 15, and when you finally get to 20, you can, completely speak, the ability to share thoughts and ideas through spoken words. Now this tribal human's mind is no different than the mind of any astronaut for telepathy or other psi power effects. And there is an ability to, in the book, there's some guidelines on how to make your own template, if you wanted to make an alien from another planet or something weird. And then the next chapter is Showdown at Simeon Junction, which I'm contemplating actually playing. It's literally a choose your own adventure little solo thing. I wonder how far that goes. Let's see if we could figure that out. How many pages that? It really doesn't actually. It's not really that many pages. It's only 3 or 4, 5, 6 pages maybe. With 1, 2, 3, 4 possible endings. Then chapter 7, which we will go into probably next week. With Thanksgiving and all, it's going to be kind of busy for the next couple of days, and I may not be able to give this chapter the full breakdown. Combat and recovery on the planet of the apes. Yeah, combat sequence, initiative, physical defenses, healing, and mental trauma. I think that that's going to take. Let's just see how many pages that is. It's definitely well over 30 pages, so yeah, we will have to wait until next week to take care of that. But I'm going to continue reading this over the holiday and get back to you next week. Until then, I hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's cruising up on us. It's almost here, and I'm going to have to cook all day Wednesday and Thursday for our Thanksgiving dinner. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow will be Wednesday, and I'm not sure if I will be able to do something for Thanksgiving morning, but I'll try. It'll probably be something along the lines of Cull, or maybe I will get a chance to read this. I am kind of interested in tackling this book by Victor. I talked about it in the previous video, but that's what I've got for you for the rest of the day. Again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And until next time, I guess I will see you all in the funny papers.